Hey guys, Kurt here. Marvel's big event for the summer of 2013 is Infinity. It encompasses the entirety of the Marvel Universe going from Earth all the way into deep space. The return of Thanos is obviously a momentous occasion, but this event is bigger than the Mad Titan himself. We here at B3 Comics are here to provide you every essential detail you need to know before reading Infinity.
The core storyline of this event will take place within the Infinity miniseries written by current Avengers and New Avengers writer Jonathan Hickman. The event will focus on two main threats, which for all intents and purposes will divide the conflict and the story into two simultaneous fronts, Earth and space. The first threat, which I will term the Space Front, comes straight from the pages of the current Avengers series. The Builders, the oldest known race in the universe, are coming to Earth. At a time of universal expansion eons ago, the Builders created complex systems to govern how life evolved. Through purification and select modification, the Builders created as they saw fit. The Builders are a race governed by protocol and capable of destroying and creating worlds. They are a threat that most powers in the universe wisely fear. But now, their ancient systems are breaking down and Earth seems to be at the center of it all. A manifestation of the universe itself, Captain Universe, shows the Avenger Manifold the approaching Builder fleet. The two watch as the mysterious Builders annihilate the Space Knight planet, Galador. Earth's mightiest heroes, the Avengers, must act accordingly to meet the threat in space. Taking advantage of the Builders' actions, the ever-opportunistic Thanos will be moving on Earth, thus creating a second front for the heroes to face. Thanos began life as an Eternal on Titan. A mutation at birth branded him an outsider. His proclivity for seeking knowledge and the corrupting influence of the very embodiment of death developed in him an appetite for murder. As a pirate, he pillaged and razed countless worlds seeking love and acceptance, but the only love he truly wants is that of Mistress Death. It is for her that he does unspeakable evil, in a hope that one day he will have the love he seeks. Before Thanos suddenly reappeared on the scene, the last we saw of him, he was trapped with Richard Rider and Star-Lord in the Cancerverse, a unique universe where death did not exist. How he re-emerged is unknown. Regardless, he is back to his old ways and has sent the lieutenants of the Black Order, a collection of outlaw aliens that serve as Thanos' army, to scour the universe in search of new worlds to raise and to find a mysterious object he desires. In previous Thanos storylines, he had sought to reclaim the Infinity Gauntlet, a powerful weapon that combines 6 soul gems representing the facets of time, space, power, mind, soul, and reality to grant its wearer godlike power. Since the last known whereabouts of the Infinity Gauntlet was on Earth, it is possible that this is one of the reasons why his armies arrived. The Infinity Gauntlet was used last by the Illuminati, a secret organization composed of some of Marvel's smartest and most powerful men, to combat a new grave terror plaguing the very fabric of reality. The Illuminati discovered that universes are collapsing at sites called incursion points, which appear intermittently across the globe. When universes converge, the only recourse is to destroy the other planet before it impacts their own. The Gauntlet was lost in the first successful attempt to destroy a planet, and every gem except the time gem shattered. These incursion points corroborate the sentiment that there is indeed something wrong with the universe itself, and Earth seems to be at the center of it. Further evidence suggests the same conclusion. At the end of the most recent Marvel event, Age of Ultron, Wolverine's actions led to the shattering of the space-time continuum. The full extent of the repercussions are unknown, but we know that Earth's meddling with the fabric of reality has caught the ire of other alien forces, including Thanos himself. Earth has been further marked by a sudden occurrence of a white event. It normally acts as the marker of a world's ascension on a universal scale. The event triggers the development of heralds that are meant to guide the world through the change. Due to the broken builder system, development cannot proceed normally. Furthermore, the current Guardians of the Galaxy series has been framed by the galactic politics surrounding what to do with Earth. Many galactic powers see Earth as both a threat and a resource, leading to some tentative agreements to leave Earth a neutral ground. These alien powers include the Kree, Shi'ar, Badoon, and Spartax. Like most Marvel crossovers, this universe-wide malady will likely require the majority of the Marvel heroes to band together to fight evil. The major players defending the Cosmic Front will be the Avengers. With the launch of Marvel Now, the Avengers series expanded its cast to include more than 18 members. This inclusionary change in Avenger policy was spearheaded by Iron Man and Captain America, who called it the Wake the World initiative. The team still includes old Avenger standbys who need little explanation, such as Hulk, Wolverine, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Spider-Man, Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man. But there are numerous others that need a little bit more explaining. Hyperion, who was a new Hyperion, distinct from previous incarnations, was transplanted from a universe that had him witness the destruction of his people and his planet. In some ways an analog to Superman, he possesses a godlike power set. He is quickly bonded with Thor, who sees him in some ways as an equal. Spider-Woman, or Jessica Drew, is a trained spy given spider-like powers due to genetic tampering instigated by her parents. She is currently romantically involved with Clint Barton, or Hawkeye. She still carries a lot of emotional baggage from her last large cosmic entanglement during the Secret Invasion event where the Skrull Queen impersonated Jessica for 2 years. Spider-Woman and Black Widow will be the focus of the Avengers Assemble tie-in. Carol Danvers has rebranded herself as Captain Marvel, a title previously held by the Kree hero Mar-Vell. Carol's powers also originated from the Psyche Magnetron, a Kree weapon. With her ties to the Kree and a Captain Marvel ongoing series tie-in slated, she could play an important role in the events of Infinity. Izzy Dare is a regular country girl that just so happens to be the Super Guardian Smasher for the Shi'ar Imperial Guard. Shi'ar Empire is led by Gladiator. Like the Kree, they are one of the many species who are concerned with the threat of the Builders. Manifold, or Eden Fessy, is an indigenous Australian and the resident teleporter for the Avengers. His teleportation might be key in saving both fronts of the conflict as he can move across the universe. Sunspot and Cannonball, or Bobby DaCosta and Sam Guthrie, are mutants who were most recently team members of the New Mutants. Their role in the Avengers roster for the time being is simply as comic relief. Falcon, aka Samuel Wilson, is an old Avenger and friend of Captain America. He has the ability to psychically link with birds. It is unlikely that he will play an important role in the event.
Conversely,
one of the most important additions is Captain Universe. Like I mentioned earlier, she is the embodiment of the universe itself and is powered by the Unipower, a sentient cosmic force. A host is usually chosen to restore balance in the universe. Gabriel Vargas was the previous wielder who helped free Kree space during Annihilation Conquest. Captain Universe's host is an amnesiac woman named Tamra Devoe. After being sent into a coma from a car crash, Tamara is selected by the Unipower because she was broken and dying just as the universe is. Shang-Chi, the master of Kung Fu, has been holding makeshift counseling sessions with Tamara to help understand why she was chosen as the host in the first place. The newest Avengers, Ex Nihilo and Abyss, started as the antagonists at the beginning of the current Avengers run. Along with Aleph, the trio were remnants of the Builder's purification system that sparked many of the events leading up to Infinity. Together, they terraformed Mars and began a process that attempted to make the planet Earth itself sentient. According to Ex Nihilo, this transformation process led to the White Event. However, when the universe, speaking through Tamara, made it clear that the trio must stop following the old system, Ex Nihilo and Abyss relented. The Aleph, however, would not corroborate and was destroyed. As a part of the transformation of Earth, Ex Nihilo created a more evolved human, a new Adam. Conversing only in Builder code, he represented one of the first signs that the Builder systems were malfunctioning. Taken by the Avengers to study, he later revealed himself to be a part of the Builder system as the Herald Night Mask. His power capabilities are still not defined, but he has an extensive knowledge of the Builder system and the capability to teleport. Night Mask was integral in mentoring possibly the most powerful new Avenger, Starbrand. Kevin Connor, a gangly, often ignored college student, was bestowed the power of the Starbrand during the White Event. Whoever controls the Starbrand, a planetary defense mechanism, possesses unfathomable power limited only by the comprehension and imagination of the host. The creation of the Starbrand is tied to a Builder system malfunction in the Superflow, a plane of existence where all dreams, ideas, and telepathy originate. These 4 new additions, Ex Nihilo, Abyss, Night Mask, and Starbrand, are brought into the fold on the advice of Captain Universe, and in preparation for the events of Infinity. Hickman's other ongoing series, New Avengers, will feature the other front of Infinity. The series features the Illuminati, who will be forced to oppose Thanos while dealing with the degradation of the multiverse. The Illuminati is currently composed of Tony Stark, Reed Richards, T'Challa, Namor, Hank McCoy, Black Bolt, and Stephen Strange. As I mentioned earlier, the Illuminati have been secretly working on a way to save the world from destruction as a result of a universal collapse at an incursion point. To forestall the destruction of their world, many of the members have developed world-shattering weapons. Tony Stark began the construction of a Dyson sphere Reed Richards christens Soul's Hammer. The sphere, when complete, will encompass the sun, harnessing its powers to create a very powerful weapon. Starbrand and Night Mask were briefly imprisoned within Soul's Hammer while the Avengers decided what to do with them. Stephen Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme, has his own world-shattering trick up his sleeve. Using the ominously named Blood Bible, he can cast a powerful spell costing 40 souls of the fallen and 1 of the righteous. Reed Richards and T'Challa reverse engineer an anti-proton sling that triggers a bomb-like detonation capable of destroying a world. They capture this technology from a mysterious woman called Black Swan when she is escaping from another doomed universe. I will talk more about Black Swan a little later. There are two other main plot points involving the Illuminati that will be important in Infinity. First is the role of the Inhumans, particularly of Black Bolt. Black Bolt possesses a deadly voice that reverberates with sonic energy, and he is the king of the Inhumans. The Inhumans were created through Kree genetic experiments performed on humans in prehistoric times. Eventually abandoned by their Kree scientists, the Inhumans developed their own distinct society and even took the genetic experiments to a new level by manipulating a catalyst known as the Terrigen Mists. Recently, Black Bolt's brother Maximus has finished construction of a mysterious superweapon powered by Terrigen crystals on Attilan, the Inhuman floating citadel. With a new Inhuman ongoing series slated to begin in September, it will be interesting to see Black Bolt and the Inhumans' role in this event. The second plot point that will surely develop is the growing conflict between Namor and T'Challa. Namor is a mutant and the brash king of the Atlanteans, and T'Challa, or Black Panther, is the second in command for the sovereign nation of Wakanda. Black Panther is in many ways still reeling from the events of AVX. His marriage with Storm ended, and his country was left in shambles after Namor's Phoenix-fueled attack. As a repercussion, having rebuilt, Wakanda has declared war on Atlantis, dealing the first blow while Namor is distracted by a fake offer for peace. It will be interesting to see how the war progresses with Thanos' arrival on Earth. The Guardians of the Galaxy are a team that could potentially aid either front due to their connection to the cosmic frontier and to Thanos. The team is led by Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord. He is a prince of the Spartax Empire but grew up on Earth. Recognized by his distinctive blaster, he is an excellent shot but is on the run from his father, who wants him arrested for an act of treason protecting Earth against the wishes of numerous galactic powers. His father, King Jason of Spartax, is one of the cosmic leaders most interested in Earth and is the organizer for the meetings discussing Earth's status. Gamora, the most dangerous woman in the universe, is an assassin and the daughter of Thanos. She most recently engaged in a sexual relationship with Tony Stark, who is currently a member of the Guardians as well. His involvement coincides with his journey of self-discovery in space detailed within the Iron Man ongoing series. Remarkably, this is Iron Man's third team, a responsibility he handles by controlling proxy Iron Man droids in missions he cannot attend in person. Another member tied to Thanos is Drax the Destroyer. His sole purpose for living is to bring the Mad Titan to his knees to avenge the deaths of his family. Rocket Raccoon, a sharp, quick-witted alien with a propensity for large firearms, and Groot, a regenerating floral colossus capable of only communicating through the phrase, "I am Groot," round out this oddball assortment of heroes. There are, however, a few footnotes to this group. After the universe-tearing events of Age of Ultron, Angela, the warrior angel from the Spawn series, could find herself on the Guardians of the Galaxy and involved in Infinity. There are also some previous Guardians of the Galaxy members who may pop up over the course of the event. Mantis the Telepath and self-proclaimed Celestial Madonna is one possible player. With the Avengers and possibly the Guardians of the Galaxy out in space, other heroes will have to step up and face Thanos' army. The young Nova, Sam Humphries, is one such hero. He took up the helmet after his father, a Nova in his own day, mysteriously vanished. Nova's powers are granted by his helmet, which channels the Nova Force. With the guidance of the Guardians of the Galaxy and the presence of the Watcher, Sam has made large strides for such a young hero, and battling the mighty armies of Thanos will be another perfect proving ground. The Nova Corps, historically a cosmic police force, seems definitely suited for this event. However, after the events of Annihilation, the Nova Corps is almost completely wiped out. One Avenger that we already know will not join the group in space is the superior Spider-Man, which means he will be one of the leaders of the Earth Resistance. After taking over Peter Parker's life, Dr. Otto Octavius has inadvertently been driving a wedge between himself and the rest of the hero community. He was even put on probation for a period of time. Despite their differences, Doc continues to fight crime his own way, and when Thanos' thugs come to his city, he won't take it sitting down. The Thunderbolts will also play a role in defending Earth. With the Avengers off in space, the Thunderbolts will be one of the few formal teams with organization and power to defend against Thanos. The team is composed of Red Hulk, Deadpool, the Punisher, Elektra, and Venom. Valkyrie and Misty Knight lead an assortment of female heroes from different backgrounds in the Marvel Universe, collectively called the Fearless Defenders. They too will defend the Earth from Thanos' hordes. Mighty Avengers will be a new ongoing series that will begin during the Infinity event. Earth's remaining heroes will have to band together to fight the invading hordes. Their rumored members include Luke Cage, Blue Marvel, Superior Spider-Man, She-Hulk, White Tiger, Monica Rambeau, Ronin, and Falcon. The two large threats of the Builders and Thanos will have drawn the attention of the world's heroes, handing many the perfect opportunity to further their own goals. These wildcards could easily tip the balance of the entire event. First on this list is Black Swan, who emerged from the first incursion point. She was captured by the Illuminati and has been an invaluable resource in their struggle. Despite her cooperation, she is still a sworn servant to the great destroyer Rabu-Malal, whose birth she believes began the early end of everything. Reed and Namor have shown interest in releasing her from her cell, and perhaps Infinity will provide a big enough reason for them to do so. Sitting with her in a cell is Terrax, a herald of galactics from another universe. He is willing to work with Swan to see what he wants, the destruction of more worlds. One of the incursion points occurred over Latveria, and one Victor Von Doom is now in the know. Though the Illuminati have not told him any sensitive information, he is smart enough to piece together what they are doing. After the resolution of the Latverian incursion point, Doom was essentially gifted an artifact from the destroyed otherworld. Interestingly, the incursion point over Latveria was unique. It was accompanied by a small invading force of mapmakers. The mapmakers are scavengers that use the incursion points to mine planets dry of resources before moving on to the next target. Though their initial force was defeated, all they need to return is a single fragment from the other dying world which they can use as a homing beacon. As scavengers, the chaos of Infinity could provide the ideal cover to strike. Due to the broken builder system and Ex Nihilo's transformative efforts, the Earth itself is a wildcard. Ex Nihilo shot 8 life bombs at the Earth in an attempt to make the planet itself sentient. Each bomb carried a specific trait that all evolving species possess: self-awareness, self-sustenance, self-repair, reproduction, communication, evolution, and self-defense. Though Starbrand unfortunately destroyed the self-awareness site, other life bomb sites remain operational. For instance, the self-sustenance site created the Children of the Sun, small humanoids that require no sustenance, making them perfect batteries. They also catch the attention of the High Evolutionary, as they may be the perfect organic species. AIM was able to get its hands on the self-defense site, and using a signal recorded from the communication site, it was able to hatch a new unnamed creation. This new being demonstrated a tremendous ability to adapt as it single-handedly defeated the Avengers. AIM was able to recapture the new being and transported it into the space between two dead universes for safekeeping. On a bigger scale, AIM has been making waves in the Marvel Universe by creating a new UN-sanctioned nation on the island of Barbuda. The Secret Avengers and the new AIM leadership have been butting heads, and with the chaos of Thanos' arrival, either side will look to take the advantage. Someone who often pops up in cosmic storylines is the former Herald of Galactus, the Silver Surfer. He was an integral part of the Annihilation and Thanos imperative events, and so we could see a reappearance here. With such a large event, it is likely every corner of the Marvel U will be affected, including those not slated to have tie-ins. This means that while the X-Men and Fantastic Four may have some part to play, they probably won't be prominently featured.
Obviously, I am psyched for this event, and after watching this video, I hope you are as well. B3 Comics will be back with full team coverage on Infinity. Obviously, we'll be reviewing the core issues, but many of the tie-ins as well. I'd also love to hear your thoughts on Infinity. Leave a comment below, over on our Facebook, or even hit us up on Twitter.